Do you, someone in your family, or perhaps another loved one suffer from scoliosis? If that's the case, and you're looking for hope, real world stories, information, and encouragement, you've come to the right channel. My name is Adam Taylor. They call me AT for short. That's how I'm known on stage as a musician. I've been known that way in workplaces. It's just something that people called me, and it's simple, and it took. The reason I'm here today is I was diagnosed with scoliosis at the age of 11. I'm now just a couple weeks from my 41st birthday. All these years I've lived with this condition. I've prospered with this condition, although this condition has progressed. My scoliosis started out as barely detectable during a checkup after a hospital stay for pneumonia. As a child, I suffered from childhood asthma, allergies, and things like that, and I had a hospital stay when I was 11 years old, and the attending physician before my discharge was just looking me over and had me lean off the side of the hospital bed and looked at my mom and said, "Has anybody ever spotted this scoliosis before?" And that was Dr. Reed. Still remember that like it was yesterday. I had no idea what scoliosis was at the time. Didn't really matter. I was a kid. I felt all right. I was going to live. As I started to grow, that curve got worse. Me, like so many other people, I was referred to an orthopedic surgeon at a children's hospital within an hour of my home. And in this era, it's probably not much different than today. They did not recommend me for any type of physical therapy, no type of chiropractic. It was strictly a wait and see approach. The physician that was attending to me, that specialist, he did nothing but watch me get worse year after year, appointment after appointment. So I remember going in, I don't remember if I was maybe in 6th or 7th grade, and doctor, sends me down for x-rays, looks me over, Mom, he's at like 20% now, 20%. And I'll relate just how bad it has gotten, though it's improved through some of the things that I've done. But I remember hearing that number, 20%. And they had it in my head that I was going to have surgery for this, that was the way this was going. And so in my mind, I'm going, you know what, I can't wait till I'm just ready to get that surgery. So years went by, curves getting worse. I noticed I was starting to get like lockups and spasms in the left thoracic. Now, most scoliosis curves in the thoracic region, most cases curve to the right. I curved to the left. I really didn't have much of an S curve for a lot of years. It was more just the upper, the thoracic. And I just remember I was getting cramping up there and stuff. And if I was sitting around for long periods of time, I'd have to stretch. And it was getting pesky and annoying. And I remember my mom being dissatisfied with the care that we were getting. So she pulled me from this children's hospital and sent me to the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic. And this was my senior year of high school. I was 17 years old. They measured my top curve at like 50 degrees. And he's like, yeah, we can operate on this. So here's what we're going to do. And he packaged this life-altering surgery, which is a major ordeal in this shiny verbal package, all this wonderful verbiage about, we're going to hook your spine up to monitors and we're going to be able to tell this and that and this and the other. And the guy had a good bedside manner and a good personality. It's not his fault that, he's trained to cut people for a living, and that's what he does, and some people need it. I'm not saying they don't. That really scared the hell out of me. I gotta admit. And I started doing my own homework on the procedure, and I found that for some people it's the best decision they ever made, and for some people it's the worst life-altering decision, and they wish they could go back and do it all over again. How would I know how that turns out? Well, I wouldn't. So I turned 18, said to the surgery, not going to do it. Walked away, freaked my family out, but you know what? I'm going to figure this out in time. So, progressing through my 20s, the pain got pretty bad. And I was starting to develop a curve just above the lumbar region in the center back that went right. Then I jogged left. I was working in commercial radio as a news director and a show host, and one of my female employees who was a big fan of Dr. Sweatlick, the chiropractor in Mount Vernon, Ohio. Everybody knew Dr. Sweatlick. He's still in practice. been around a lot of years. She was on me. You got to go to Dr. Sweatlick. I said, well, my mom, who was a registered nurse, was like, no chiropractors. That's dangerous. They're going to crack your back and they might pop something out and you'll never walk again. So, everybody has this thought in their head about what they think a chiropractor is because of the stereotype of the bone crushing adjustments and even the bone crushingest adjusters. Once I got into it, it wasn't what I thought. But anyway, my coworker basically left me no other choice. She called Dr. Sweatlick's for me when I was on air one day and said, "Hey, sissy," well, she used a much more vulgar word than that, but we were good like that. We had a really friendly relationship where we could tease each other. She said, "Your appointment's tomorrow at Dr. Sweatlick's. You're welcome." So I went to see Dr. Sweatlick, and not only did I get some hope and encouragement, and I felt better, but that adjustment was nothing like I thought. So this opened up a voyage of me seeing chiropractors, massage therapists, physical therapists, and eventually I got into bodybuilding. And eventually I took my health into my own hands and did a dramatic 180-degree transformation. I used to be skinny as a stick, sick all the time, just a total weakling. I mean, every sense of the word. Pipe cleaner arms. I didn't have a chest to speak of. I was real pale and got sick all the time. And I was able to turn that around. Now, I'm going to share my entire story with all of you as time progresses on here. And I'm going to give you hope because I'm going to be 41 years old and I've never had the rod surgery. And I do have a severe case of scoliosis. Bear in mind, at age 18, my top curve was measured at 50 degrees. I'm going to tell you all about my journey. I'm going to tell you about some cutting-edge research in scoliosis, a wonderful clinic that I found in Pennsylvania with a scoliosis boot camp and a wearable device that's amazing. I'm going to get you strong in the mind too. I'm going to talk about mindfulness. I'm going to talk about what I did to reprogram my mind to make me more stable mentally, stronger mentally, full of hope, and not sitting around feeling sorry for myself. Because one thing that I will say, so many people with scoliosis are stuck in a victim mentality because that's what's programmed into them by the orthopedic surgeons and the physicians, and they don't have any hope. And I'm here to tell you there's hope for that condition. There's a lot that you can take on yourself to help yourself through this journey and change your condition, improve your condition, heal your condition. As you can see, I'm coming to you today from a gym. This is where I do a lot of my therapy, both physically and, I'll share with you some things you can do to stretch out and hide the appearance of that scoliosis. Because I'll tell you, if I didn't work on my strength and posture through stretching and stabilization, my normal posture would be this. I can actually find my way into this and stay there. But I'm able to, hide the appearance of it. I'll also show you at some point how bad it really is on that. When I'm out of alignment, that shoulder gets really swollen and it gets aggravated. But you know what? It's a journey. I'm triumphing in the best shape of my life in my 40s. So let's get Scoli-Strong. Follow my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button. We'll see you soon.